All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Australian Gymnastics Championships, and we're kicking off the action tonight with Alicia Tan.
Now, Alicia just came back from the Junior World Championships, where she made history for Australia as the first junior gymnast to qualify for 2 World Championships finals, which is incredible achievement for her. So tonight she's displaying her 2 routines that she performed at the World Championships. Incredible risk throw from Alicia. You can see just how high her difficulty score will be. Beautiful switch stag arch leap. That leap will be worth one of the highest in the code of points at 0.8. Well done, Alicia.
Beautiful stuff there. And with me tonight, we have Danielle Prince, 3-time Commonwealth Games representative and Olympian. Fantastic stuff, Danielle. Appreciate the help there. And we're going to be moving straight over to the action on the acro floor with Tori Singleton, dual silver World Cup medalist. Tori, take us through what we're seeing here. Just warming up here on the trampoline. As you can see, the athletes getting last one touch warm up here to make sure they can feel the tramp, make sure it bounces in nice and high. We do have Tori here, acrobatics champion, silver medalist, twice at the World Cup. Tori, you wouldn't happen to know much about trampolining, would you?
Look, not too much. It's not my forte. I have had a little bit of experience on the trampoline throughout my competitive careers and my training, but nothing like these girls. They look absolutely incredible, and I think I'm a bit afraid to go that high.
Likewise. Yeah, as a former artistic athlete, I like to stay close to the floor, so above ground trampolines still scare me to this day. They get some serious height there. Oh yeah. Once again, they're lining up.
And now we have Veronica from Queensland with her first apparatus final, the hoop. Veronica's beautiful dance steps here. Every routine has to have at least 2 sets of dance steps, each 8 seconds long. So you'll see those there. Veronica has a lot of difficulty in this routine as one of her strengths. Last wrist throw and just catching it. Well done.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you there, Danielle. And we're just going to jump between Rhythmic and Acro this evening, and hopefully the cameraman will keep up with us. You can see the Rhythmic gymnasts competing on one floor and the Acro gymnasts competing on the other. And here we go. Tori's going to be taken over.
And now,
So with our Acro Nationals here in Oz, generally the scores continue on from the day before. So the girls had dynamic and balance yesterday, and the scores will continue on. Overseas, it's a little bit different. Generally, once you get into combined finals, the scores go back from 0. So for our nationals here, this routine the girls are doing is quite a big deal to go in, continue on from their scores from yesterday to try and make the podium. But the girls are looking very good. Leotards are great. And from what we can see from here, their performance is looking amazing. Beautiful handstand shape there, extended legs and toes into a nice arch. Making sure all those balances are being held for 3. Some beautiful artistry here to flow in between each skill to really bring the routine to life. Going into another balance element here with that tied straddle on one arm. Super strong. Beautiful hold there, girls. Coming to the end of the routine now, we're going to try and keep that energy up. We've got here our 12 to 18s. Beautiful front pike to hips and a gainer slightly apart with those feet on the catch, but otherwise these girls are looking beautiful.
Beautiful stuff there. High flying routine. Thanks for your help with that one, Tori. And straight over to the Rhythmic floor. Take it away, Danny.
Now we have Brianna from WA. Now she's had an incredible performance at Nationals to date. She qualified, came 4th overall in the all-round competition. Excellent Ponche pivots from Brianna. Really attempting those harder wrist throws with multiple rotations. Brianna's really got excellent artistry in this routine, showing expression not just through her body but also through her face. just reaching to get that hoop. She might get a small trajectory execution for that, but otherwise looking good.
How good was that? What was your favourite apparatus?
My favourite apparatus?
Yeah.
I think hoop as well, actually, to be honest. It's such a fun apparatus to perform, and it allows you to have a lot of different variety of the way that you move the hoop and how you connect with the audience.
Fantastic. And like I said, Danny Prince, 3-time Commonwealth Games representative and Olympian, helping us out with tonight's coverage. So many different things going on here tonight. We've got tramp, rhythmic, acro, and lots of action. Danny, tell us about your Olympics experience.
I think it's probably the highlight of my career today. You know, I had the best experience I could have had, having my friends and my family watching me in Rio. It was, just the best.
Amazing. And we're going to start on, we've got our eyes on tramp at the moment. And it looks like they're starting the competition shortly, and we've just jumped over to the acro floor. Tori's going to jump in and give us a hand with this one.
Last up here for our 12 to 18 women's pair, we have Indy and Sienna with their combined routine. The girls are currently sitting in first place after yesterday. With only 3 12 to 18 women's pairs, all these girls will fortunately get a Nationals medal, which will be really nice to see, all from New South Wales. Little stumble there with the choreo, but the girls continuing on with confidence is what we like to see. At these comps, we can let those nerves get to us, but the girls are finishing off. Keep going, girls.
Recovered well.
Such a young division. These comps are all about experience, getting out on the floor and working to balance those nerves and push through any little niggles that happen on the floor. The girls are doing well to continue on here, finishing off nice and strong. That's what we train for, right? Making sure that in training, when we're tired and these little things happen, we learn how to push through. Very fun, unique routine, which we love to see. Coming into a balance element now.
Bit of a tricky one there tonight.
It is a bit of a tricky one, but these things do happen. We just returned home from the European tour that Gymnastics Australia took us on, and there was lots of those little mistakes that happen, but you just got to learn to keep going and push through, take back to the club and keep pushing on.
That's right, it's all a learning experience as we can keep our eyes on the tramp here. And straight into the action on the rhythmic floor.
We have Bella. Bella actually made this final last year, so it's great to see her continue the success with hoop. all of the roles that you're seeing are most likely going to be DAs. So all of these smaller apparatus handlings will be giving the gymnasts extra difficulty. Just a small error there, and she's covered it well. Very powerful piece of music Bella has chosen, but she's matching it well with those dance steps and artistry. You really want to see a story from the beginning to the end of the routine, and she's done well with that.
How good was that? Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be jumping between the rhythmic floor and the acro floor for the first hour or so, and then we'll mix in a bit of trampoline. So if you are tuning in for the tramp, that will be coming on a little bit later. This is going to be streamed on YouTube, so you can catch up on all of today's action throughout the evening at your own leisure anytime. So Tori, what was your favourite gymnastics moment?
Over my career?
Over your career?
A couple of highlights. I would say receiving my first silver medal in Vegas in 2019 after a very hard lead up with injuries and some mental health. From there, taking actually 6 years off before coming back and receiving another silver medal after 4 months of training was a pretty big highlight, which was just recently we got home from the Poland World Cup. And honestly, a big shock to come home with a silver medal. So very proud of that, especially after 6 years off in retirement and then 4 months of training. So, yeah.
What an achievement. Was it doubles or trios that you were mainly in?
Currently in a trio.
In a trio?
Previously a doubles and a women's pair.
Okay.
So we've mixed it up quite a few times.
And what led to the comeback?
I felt that when I finished up in 2019, I had unfinished business and it wasn't the aim to retire, but I just had to get on top of some injuries. But due to the world pandemic and life just going in a different direction, it just led to my retirement naturally. But about 5-6 months ago, my coach reached out and unfortunately had an injury in one of their senior trios. So they were looking to replace her until she could recover and get back into the sport. And I just knew I couldn't pass up this opportunity.
Fantastic stuff. And here we are back on the acro floor shortly, but we're just finishing up this tramp routine. Beautiful stuff. All right, Tori, take us through this acro routine.
Here we've got our one and only 12 to 18 mixed pair for our nationals here in 2025. We've got Lucas and Charlotte, who recently just competed with us over in Germany, performing some beautiful routines. So we've got, again, all combined routines tonight. They're starting with a balance element here. They've had some experience competing over internationally, so coming to here to nationals is just another experience for them to get out on the floor. This year is the qualifying year for our World Championships next year in 2026 in Italy. So hopefully some clean routines can be put on the floor. Beautiful one-arm series there. Just some strong choreo. Obviously the judges are looking into all elements, being artistry, the way they dance and connect with each other, and then looking into execution, how well they perform their skills, the lengthening of their legs, their feet, extension, and then of course the difficulty in their skills. These two perform so beautiful together. I thoroughly enjoyed watching them over in Germany. They have some beautiful routines. Nice little sequence there for dynamic. As well as some individual elements mixed throughout the routine. moving into another dynamic element. Slight little stumble, but great save there from Lucas. Nice lay full there, little hook on the catch, but continuing on the professionals that they are. Beautiful routine from the pair.
Fantastic stuff there from the pair. And we'll continue the action on the rhythmic floor. Danny jumping on the mic with Paulina from Queensland.
Now Paulina qualified in 3rd place for this apparatus, so let's see what she can do here. Paulina's only a first-year senior, but she's showing excellent maturity here with the choice of music and the difficulty that she's going for. You can see that all of her movements should be matching the music, telling that story. Slight adjustment there for her dynamic wrist. May get a small trajectory error. Great finish from Paulina.
How was that?
It was good. So Paulina has been selected for the World Championships coming up in August. So this is a great dry run for her just to get out those small little errors and get those nerves out before heading over to Rio in August.
Amazing stuff. And we continue the action on the acro floor.
Moving into our 12 to 18 women's trios, we've actually got 8 here at Nationals. So the girls will be pushing for a nice clean hit routine to try and get themselves on the podium. But not only that, is trying to get those clean routines, get the scores to help them throughout this year to qualify for our Worlds. So we've got a nice strong routine here from the girls. All 8 of our trios here at Nationals are all from New South Wales. So the girls have had the last few trials in their state to compete against each other. So always brings the nerves. The girls are looking nice and strong. A big thing in acro is making sure that when we're doing and performing our artistry, the dance is in time, it's performed with amplitude, and it's flowing nicely into each skill in the routine. A nice double front to basket there, into a half heli double twist. Beautiful clean catches, nice shapes from the top. Nice double tuck there. Beautiful strong landing from the girls. Flowing nicely into their choreo. As you can see, their leotards matching the music. Faces matching the performance. Nice clean routine from the girls. Happy with that.
And the girls are happy with that, as they should be. The young team from New South Wales and international 12 to 18. All right, Danny, we're back over to the rhythmic floor, continuing with the hoop in the senior international competition.
Saki is a relatively newcomer to the Australian scene. This is her first Australian championships here in the senior international division, and she's definitely made her mark, qualifying for a number of finals here tonight, which is really exciting. Seeing that second set of dance steps there, Saki's really using not only the floor space but also change of levels. See a lot of those roles, they're quite high value for the athletes to be performing, again, all adding to their difficulty score. Well done, Saki.
Fantastic stuff there. How long do these routines normally go for, Tori?
Our routines go for 2 minutes 30.
2 minutes 30. Every single routine needs to be the same length.
Yep, right on the mark.
Right. Plenty of action in these routines. Is there special requirements they need to tick off?
So they've got, in their combined routines, they've got a mixture of their dynamic and balance elements. So they've all got to get their difficulty up to meet the requirements of their age division. So each age division, whether that being 11 to 16, 12 to 18, 13 to 19 or senior, everyone's got different difficulty requirements. So you want to make sure you're hitting those as well as your individual elements. And then in each section of artistry and execution, you've got a certain amount of requirements you want to hit in your performance to really bring up your score. So as you've seen for the last few routines, each combined routine is very different, whether they're going for a soft kind of move with their movements and their music, or they're going for more intense kind of dramatic music, or like myself, we have a very fun upbeat combined. So it's really depending on the athletes and what they choose when putting these routines together.
Fantastic, learning plenty tonight here at the Australian Gymnastics Championships.
Nice clean twist there from the girls. This is where they're doing their individual elements. They're just as important as those group skills, making sure they're nice and clean to really bring up that execution and difficulty. Beautiful transition, lovely pancake there from their top. Making sure they're making contact with the judges, engaging with them, really trying to bring them into their performance.
Amazing stuff there. Girls are happy with that routine as well, as they should be. Next, moving to rhythmic floor with Camille from Queensland.
Camille is one of the 3 athletes this year who has come across from level 10 into senior international, and she has definitely been the right decision for her. She's made 3 apparatus finals here tonight, which is incredible. Great wrist throw there from Camille. You can see when she throws with her foot, it's all adding extra difficulty. Great music selection by Camille. In Rhythmic, you can have 2 pieces of music that have lyrics. This was introduced in 2013 and it was new for rhythmic gymnastics at the time, and now it's really brought our sport to life, allowing not only the audience but the judges all to get engaged in our sport more.
Amazing work there from Camille Neighbour from Queensland. And we're heading back over to the acro floor. The trio from New South Wales. Any backstories you've got here, Tori, on this team?
Not completely. With my 6 years out of the sport, I've been taking the last few months to get back into it and really invest my time into the teams across Australia. We've seen some beautiful talent already tonight and over last night. So this is one of our bigger divisions, the 12 to 18 women's trios. It's always a big fight to make the World Championships, which, as I mentioned, is next year in Italy in September. So they will only take top 2 in the divisions. So as you can see tonight, we've got 8, and we've got a few not here tonight or at Nationals, as they've just come home from the European tour that we just did. So this division is quite big, and the girls will be fighting through to trying to get their spot in the World Championships next year. As you can hear, a very fun, upbeat song with the leotards to match, which is very different for the last few that we've seen, so it's nice to mix it up a little bit. Beautiful press there into a nice arch on the feet with our middle in a straight handstand. Nice transition. Lovely work, ladies. Seeing some nice flow here into the skills, into a dynamic element, a lay full off platform. Looking clean so far. Coming towards the end of the routine, keeping their energy up, focusing on their technique. Double back there, nice landing. Great routine, ladies.
Plenty of fun there as well, like you mentioned, upbeat music with that routine. And they've also got words in the songs compared to artistic gymnastics where there's no words allowed. So a bit of a difference there, but we'll jump straight back over to the rhythmic floor. Carolina Krinko from New South Wales.
It's a small drop there from Carolina, but recovering well. Seems to be quite a theme for Hoop to have quite a serious piece of music, with a lot of girls choosing this routine to show the emotion. Great wrist throw there. For the wrist throws, we want to be seeing a minimum of 2 rotations underneath the apparatus. Carolina's doing it well. Showing the change of music there and change of pace. Carolina showing not just expression with her body, but with her face as well. Not her best routine, but hopefully she can recover for this, for her next apparatus.
All right, and we're going to take it straight back to the acro floor. So much action, there's not much time to talk in between routines, which is good stuff. It's the young team from New South Wales now taken to the competition floor.
Emily, Jade and Patience with their combined routine. Another fun, upbeat routine here. Beautiful double back-to-back element there. Very clean, very high with their lifts, and a nice dismount there. Straight into dance, moving nice and freely. Incredible balance there in a high candlestick. Slight wobble, but a great save from the girls, keeping their composure. As we mentioned before, we've got the lyrics and the music. So this was brought in quite a few years ago, whereas back in my day, there was no music allowed in routines, as there is in Mag and Wag. When I was finishing up, they introduced one routine was allowed with lyrics, and now they've transitioned to all 3 are allowed with music, with lyrics. And I think it just brings an extra element to the routine to be able to connect with the lyrics, tell a bit more of a story for the artist to perform to. Quite a good routine there from the girls. Good to see them happy.
Fantastic. Oh, good. And the young Victorian on with the hoop. Take it away, Danny.
Miyabi is also preparing for the World Championships in August. Amazing 4 turning split arch leaps. That's just 2.4 in difficulty just there. Excellent control of the apparatus. Great wrist throw there from Miyabi, just adjusting slightly. Really showing her artistry in these dance steps. Finishing off strong, another big risk. Beautiful routine from Miyabi.
Next on the acro floor, representing New South Wales, please welcome Jessica, Isabella and Allegra.
All right, onto the acro floor, Jessica, Isabella and Allegra from New South Wales.
Girls starting with a dynamic element, a double frontal basket, moving into a double twist with a half heli. Nice and clean there, ladies. It's amazing to see after even having quite a few years out of the sport to come back and see the standard. It's just getting better and better. Moving into their balance element. Got a TP. Beautiful press to handstand on top. Moving into that arch handstand. Slight wobble there, but great save from the girls. Hitting that 3 seconds hold for their routine.
And we've just flicked over to the tramp action here. Just had a routine finish there on the trampoline with the next athlete patiently waiting for the judges to get their score ready from the previous athlete. All right, and helping me through the tramp action this evening, we have Steve Davey. Competed at World Championships as a trampolinist, and these days is a physiotherapist. Steve, take us through what we're seeing live here.
This is Finn Webster from Tasmania, about to start. He's one of the juniors. Yep. And tuck half out. And a straight full out to finish from Finn.
So Steve, former trampolinist, now a physiotherapist for the team, looking after the athletes throughout the country. As a gymnast, what was your favourite part of being on the competition floor?
As a gymnast, it was always pretty nerve-wracking being on the competition floor, but I'm actually not sure if it's even worse being a physio out on the competition floor. You sort of never know what's coming next. And so, yeah, both can be pretty nerve-wracking. That said, it's always the relief after a routine is finished that is probably the best part of it all, whether as an athlete or as a physio.
That's right, and take us through what we're seeing here live.
Okay, we've got Ryan Hatfield on the trampoline at the moment from Victoria, going through his routine for the international team final. And he's off. Starts with a straight Barani, straight back, tuck Barani, pike back, tuck half out, tuck double back, showing some pretty good lines until there. Pike ready out, pike double back, pike half out. And what I think Ryan will have called a straight double back to finish, but that will be up to the difficulty judges to make that call. But a completed routine for the Victorian. And looked really tidy up until he started to travel around the trampoline a little bit. But the first part of that routine was really neat and tidy.
Fantastic, and they need to stay as close to the cross in the middle of the trampoline. They veer left or right, close to the edge of the trampoline. Deductions?
Yeah, well, this is a relatively new rule. Certainly wasn't back in the day when I was on a trampoline. Now that there are sensors attached to the trampoline that actually monitor travel and make automatic deductions based on horizontal displacement. They also have a time of flight monitor now, which registers how high you go and how much time there is between the start and the finish of your routine. And so those are now more objective measures that try to bring the sport a little bit more precision and objectivity.
And here we can see he's getting plenty of height, plenty of air time there as well.
Yeah, so we've now got Cameron League on tramp from New South Wales. And let's start with a pike triff. Half-half piked. And then a second triple somersault tuck triff, half-half tucked. Then a full in half-out piked. Double back tucked. Pike ready out. Pike double back. Piked half out. And a full straight to finish. It's a good routine from Cameron.
You should be happy with that one.
You should be very happy. It's always good to finish a routine, and particularly in a team final when there's other people relying on you getting through your routine and putting a score up.
That's right, and gymnastics is such an interesting sport where you do compete as a team, yet everyone competes individually, so you're heavily relying on the individuals of each team to put their routine together and do the best for the team, that's for sure.
Okay, our next up is Samuel Durkin from Queensland. He's up on the tramp now. And again, looking to not only start nice and high, but to sustain that height throughout his 10 skills. Also starting with a pike triff, half and half out tuck, and a second tuck triff, half in, Rudy out, piked. Piked, Rudy out. 1.5 in, half out, piked. Full in, half out, piked. Half in, half out, piked. Half out, piked. And a Miller, triple twisting double back to finish in the straight position.
Save that one.
Yeah, there's a few little untidy moments for Sam, but it was, again, all in all, a pretty good routine, finishing probably the biggest couple of skills we've seen so far with a pike triff start and a Miller finish, a triple twisting double back.
Plenty of difficulty in that routine. You mentioned a few names there. How do the names come about?
Yeah, so the Miller was originally done by a Wayne Miller, who I believe was a diver, probably back in the 70s. Was probably originally performed as a 2.5 in, half out as a diver, but is now usually performed as a full in, double out, so a triple twisting double back. But as we don't really try and do a full in, double out and a double in, full out. You can really do the twisting in just about any phase of the somersault and still have them called as individual skills.
Amazing stuff. We'll continue the action here.
And yeah, now we've got Matt French up on tramp at the moment from Tasmania. Matt's been in and out of the national senior squad for a while. He competes in both tramp and in double mini, starting with a pike triffus, then a straight back, and then a tuck triffus, and a 1.5 in, half out pike. This looks like Matt's in trouble. Yeah, that is definitely not what he was intending on doing, but he looks okay. Looks like he's landed safely at very least, despite the double back off the side of the trampoline. Not Matt's best routine.
No, and if you come off like that, you can't continue.
No, that is right. Once you're off, and he hit the end pad, and so even hitting the end pad just means that the routine's terminated there. You don't count that skill or anything that you do after it, which, he landed off the side at the very end there. He's certainly not going to get paid for that skill.
All right. All right. Can you hear me there, Steve?
Yeah, that is considerably better.
Easy done, and we're live here with the young Victorian.
Oh, young Victorian. This is the 60-year-old Adrian Wareham, who is up on the trampoline in front of us, performing in his 50th straight national championships. Starts with a 1 and 3 pike. Pull out half. Pike back. Straight behind. Straight back. Tuck back. Half out tuck. Half in, half out tucked. Half out piked. And a half and half out pikes to finish.
How good. 50th national championships.
50th national championships in a row. Consecutive 50 national championships for Adrian.
Amazing stuff.
It's somewhat embarrassing to say that I used to compete against Adrian many years ago, and that he is still going is a little bit humbling.
That's for sure, and gymnastics is a sport for all and all ages, so fantastic to see him still on the competition floor.
Yeah, it is. I had a chat to him just yesterday. He was presented with a longevity award. He's basically said he is hanging up the boots after this nationals, but I have heard him talk about such things before, and I'm not entirely certain that this will be it for him. He'll certainly be hovering around the sport. Whether or not he competes at another nationals is for anyone to say.
Good stuff. We're continuing with plenty of the tramp action here.
Yeah, so on to Troy Swiskowski now from New South Wales. Also just competed in the men's double mini team final. And actually ended up winning that team final for New South Wales. He was the highest scorer. Starting also with a pike triffers. Half and half out tuck. Tuck triff. Double back tuck. Full and half out pike. Half and half out pike. Half out pike. Double back pike with a nice kick. Half out tucked. And he's finished with a Miller again. So not unlike what we saw before. Pike triff start and Miller finish. It's a good routine from Troy. Good to see him getting through the whole routine in particular. And that should score quite well. At the moment, the leaderboard looks like Sam Durkin's up there on 56.14, but Troy will be up around that 56 mark, I'd say.
Who have we got next up here?
Next up, Harry Lee from Queensland.
One of Queensland's best.
That's it.
Next on the list, representing Western Australia, please welcome back.
And about to start his routine for the Queensland team. Also starting with a pike triff. Half and out pike. Tuck triff. 1.5 in half out pike. Half out pike. Half in Rudy out pike. Rudy out pike. Half in half out tuck. Using the high. Half out tuck. And a finish with a full straight. It's another good solid routine there for Harry. It's always, as I say, good to see them get through, particularly if they haven't done everything that we would necessarily like them to have achieved during the individual comp. It's nice to see them get out there and do it in the team comp afterwards.
Rhythmic competition here. With ball.
Very dramatic piece of music that Bella has chosen here, and she's executing it well. Large wrist throw, just a small deviation there, no more than 0.3 deduction. Well recovered from Bella.
Justin, we've got a better view here now. Tori's back on the microphone as well to take us through this acro team that we should be seeing shortly.
Judges are having a discussion on the last routine.
And that's right, that's when the athletes need to wait. The most nerve-wracking part of competition I found
is the waiting.
Competition floor, waiting for the judges to put the score up for the previous athlete. How did you used to control your nerves?
Great question. I feel like with age and maturity, it's definitely calmed down, knowing how to control your body, control your nerves, and just focus on your job and what you need to do. I think as a younger athlete, there's a lot to think about. It's a big atmosphere, there's a lot going on, and you can let the external kind of take over. But I think as you get older, learning to just tune in, stay in your lane and get your job done, definitely something that helped me, especially in our recent tour in Germany and Poland. Just focusing on exactly what you need to do and trusting the training that you've put in beforehand.
That's right, the judges do have a tricky job to get it all right, generally in such a short amount of time. And they do their very best. A lot of them volunteer many hours outside of the main competitions like this. And make this sport go around, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, we are looking at a big giant blue square waiting for the next acro team to take to the floor.
Big discussion going on there, but we had two of the recent trios that were just on the floor were recently with us on the tour, both of them making finals and performing some beautiful routines over there. So they've come back and quite quickly got back into peak condition to get ready for nationals, so quite a quick turnaround. A few of the athletes from the Australian team have come back and gotten straight back into it, or a couple of the athletes are taking some time off to get ready for national clubs, which is next up.
Fantastic. And when are you taking to the competition floor next?
It will be national clubs back on the Gold Coast in September.
Fantastic. So, about 4,500 athletes coming to the Gold Coast over 3 weeks. And we're back onto the rhythmic floor here as the acro routine gets started.
From Rhiannon there, treat 3 rotations underneath the apparatus, really pushing for that higher difficulty level. Rebounding off the chest there. Really showing those dance steps there with the French-inspired music. Unfortunately, just lost the ball there and picking up the spare apparatus. So that apparatus is there on the side of the mat for the athletes to collect if they need it, but they will receive a deduction if they do choose to pick it up. Great fouette pivots there. Fouette pivots are a really great way for the athletes to pick up quite a lot of difficulty value in a short space of time with multiple rotations there. Well recovered from Rhiannon. She'll be a little bit disappointed with that performance.
You did mention the spare ball always being at the side, so if your hoops just all balls just goes across the room, aim for that one first.
Correct, yes. So what the athletes will decide to do is not step over the floor area, so not step over that line, and they'll save themselves a deduction for not stepping over the line, but they will get a deduction for picking up the spare apparatus, so it's the better choice. Still a deduction though.
Fantastic. All right, we're going to move on to the acro floor here. Sorry, taking over on the mic.
This is our final 12 to 18 trio here for the night before acro has a short break and we move into our 13 to 19s, next division up. Nice TP there from the girls. You can see a few nerves getting to the junior groups here at Nationals. But this is where they learn to control them in heading into the international season. A nice dynamic element, double back from the platform. Nice landing from the girls into their individual elements. Even just little things, making sure everything's in time from the dance to the skills. Moving nicely across the floor. Another requirement is hitting the corners of the floor as similar to mag and wag. Just making sure it flows nicely through skills into dance. Slight little error there, straight back up and finishing off the skill, which is what we love to see. A lot of the time in these younger groups, you can sometimes see when there's a slight error happens, it puts you out of time in your music, it puts you in a different position in your artistry, so it's just learning to pick it back up, follow the music, trust your partners and continue moving through the routine. And that's our final 12 to 18 trio routine for the night.
All right, thank you, Tori, for taking us through that action, and we'll be back with Tori a little bit later when the international 13 to 19s are back on. Apologies, we've got some replays here.
A couple of replays. We've got, this is a trio from New South Wales. Again, these are a couple of the girls that was just recently with us in Germany. As we know, Australia is such a far trek heading over to Europe, so it was the first time Australia was taking a team on a tour and doing 2 international competitions in a row. So with that, it's just learning how to train in between the two. We had a big team come over for Germany, and then we had a few of us leave as a lot of us headed to Poland. So it was just learning to train in between the 2 competitions to kind of pick up the energy in the training, and then trying to peak at the right time before we headed into the Poland competition, where we had a lot of juniors, and then we had 3 Australians in the World Cup. So we had myself in senior trio, senior women's pair and senior mixed pair in the World Cup. So a lot of the juniors got to see the level and the standard that is held over in Europe, which is just insane to witness and be a part of. And we had a lot of Australian groups come back with success, which is amazing, but also just more drive to come back and work a little harder into our qualification year for World Championships.
Fantastic as you see the girls continuing through their routine here.
Beautiful double pike from the girls. A very textbook perfect pike shape there. Into a heli series and a dismount with a double tuck from the girls.
Beautiful stuff there. And another replay.
Another trio that was with us over in Germany, performing some beautiful routines, getting themselves into finals. And as I said before, the 12 to 18 division, not only in Australia but across the world, is just such a big division. Moving from that 11 to 16 into 12 to 18 is a big jump, and you just see the standard grow. And over in Europe, the girls were up against some incredible trios. Great Britain, Ukraine, USA, Portugal. It was incredible to see the girls hold themselves and really earn their spot in the finals, which was amazing to see.
Mentioned World Championships next year. That's what the athletes will be working towards.
Yes, so we're in our qualification year, so the girls are all in this division tonight are working towards the World Championships in Italy next year, which is not a bad spot to have a World Championships. So we've got this competition being one of the first to qualify with those scores, and then national clubs and moving into next year as well. So all these comps count, and you want to try and bring your best routines to kind of show some consistency throughout the year.
Amazing, and we're moving on to live action here on the Rhythmic floor. Unfortunately dropping the ball right there.
So that one will just be a 0.3 deduction, unfortunately. But luckily she didn't take any steps, which would keep adding the execution errors on. Again, very serious, mature piece of music that Camille has selected, and she's executing it well. Just some small hops in the fouettes there. Again, small execution. One of the changes in this code of points is in the artistry, where judges will be looking for these dynamic changes and effects. So you'll see the athletes pause, have contrasting movements to the music, and these are requirements that the new code of points are asking for. Well done, Camille.
Fantastic, Camille from Queensland with her ball routine.
Like we mentioned earlier, Camille is one of the athletes who has moved over from level 10 into the senior international division, and she's done it very well. She's qualified for 3 finals tonight, which is an excellent achievement coming across from the levels program into the international program.
It certainly is, and the action here is going to be continuing with Rhythmic. Acro International 12 to 18s currently finished, and Tramp finished their rotation as well. So Danny, what was the highlight outside Olympics? You won a gold medal and a bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games as well. Super proud moments, I'm sure, as well. Was your family there to capture that action as well?
They were, for Delhi in particular, as you would have travelled to Delhi as well. It was a big trip for those family members to go over, and definitely one of the highlights for me was finishing that final routine and seeing my family cheering in the crowd for me.
And you win the team gold there, which is always great to do it with your friends, and such a good memory to take for the rest of your life. As we continue with Saki from Queensland with her ball routine.
Saki's got a beautiful maturity about her movements, really matching the music well. This code of points is really focusing on the artistry, so you want to see the story from the beginning to the end of the routine with all of the connecting movements linked to the music. You don't want to see that breaking character, and Saki's doing it well. Beautiful fouette pivots, very solid. Just a few small steps there to catch the ball. Well saved there by Saki.
Beautiful stuff. And you spoke about World Championships in August this year?
Yes, so we've had 3 athletes who will be selected to represent Australia there in Rio. So we'll have Paulina, we'll have Miyabi, and we will also have Isabella Wang, who actually isn't here tonight. She is off at the World University Championships in Germany right now, so she unfortunately can't be here competing here tonight, but she will be joining the girls over in Rio in August.
That's right, and the World University Games are on at the moment. We have our artistic teams, men's and women, heading over there as well as the Rhythmic girls. So an exciting competition, the biggest multi-sport event outside of the Olympics. So
yes.
Great experience to be earned at the World University Games.
It is.
As we continue with Miyabi, who you did mention is going to the World Championships in August.
Yes, Miyabi will be performing 3 routines at those championships, and here she is with the ball. She qualified with a 26.75, so let's see what she can do tonight. Excellent triple roll. You'll see the girls, a number of girls trying to attempt triple roll. In this code of points, we have a new bonus for performing 3 rotations on the vertical axis. So it's a very quick way to get high difficulty. Beautiful ponche pivot, excellent control. Beautiful fouette pivots. With fouettes in this code of points, you can only do a maximum of 10 heel movements. So you'll see a lot of the girls reaching that maximum. Beautiful routine from Miyabi, well performed.
Fantastic stuff, and that does take us to a session break for the Rhythmic and Acro this evening, but we have some replays coming from the trampolining, and Steve is going to be joining me on the mic here. Some replays the previous trampoline rotation. All right. Steve, looks like the athletes there were warming up on tramp. Hopefully we get back to that action shortly. So much going on in the competition event.
There is a lot going on, that's for sure. There
3 gym sports tonight alone, and Rhythmic and tramp, double mini. We have the Acro as well, so
and tumbling as well, and they've just moved on. So this march out at the moment is they're bringing on the team all-around final for the tramp apparatus. So we've got men's and women's tumbling, 5 different teams. We've got a Queensland, Western Australia, New Zealand, New South Wales and Tasmania. Men's and women's tumbling, men's and women's double mini, and men's and women's individual tramp.
And tonight is the team all-around final.
This is now the team all-around being introduced now, yeah. So we've just finished the international stream team finals, and this is now the all-around final.
Fantastic. I was talking to Tori earlier about how to keep the nerves calm in competition. What did you find worked for yourself?
I was a big fan of trying to get away from everyone else. And I used to do a pretty regular visualisation routine, just take myself through my steps and my own preparation and process. And I'm not sure that I had a particularly good strike rate on that working or not, but I stuck to it anyway.
As we have a replay on screen here.
This is from that the team final there, women's trampoline, starting with a pipe ready out, half and half out tucked, double back tucked, and a half out tucked, and the coach there is probably rightly decided to stick a mat in there.
Unfortunate way to end the routine.
Yep, and moving on quickly onto one of the Queensland athletes now.
Judging doesn't start until the first skill, is that correct?
That is correct, yeah. They just
the height, as many jumps as you want.
As many jumps as you want. You start getting a time penalty when you go over a minute. There's a pike half out start, double back tucked, straight running, double back piked, piked running, piked back, tuck running, tuck back, and a half out tuck, and a double back straight position to finish.
Fantastic jumping dry, the coach there, not having to push the mat in, which is good to see.
That's it. Yep, just standing, lending support on the sides. And next up, we've got former Olympian from the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, Jess Pickering. Just had a pretty good senior women's comp in the individual. Let's see what she can come up with here. She's starting with a pipe back, tuck back. Full in half out piked, half in half out tucked, Rudy out piked, double back piked, half out piked, double back tucked, half out tucked, and a full in full out, double twisting double back in the straight position to finish. It's a good routine for Jess.
Any difficulty in that routine there?
Yep, that's right. She's been at it for a while now. So Olympian in Tokyo, and sort of just getting back into the swing of things again and building her routine back up to where she'd like it to be. Here we go again.
Again, starting with a piked half out, double back tucked, tucked half out, back salt pont, Barani tucked, full twist back, Rudy, 1.5 twisting forward salt, straight Barani, and a double back piked. In these team events, one of the requirements is that you have a junior athlete in your team as well, a minimum of one. Some of the teams use more than one, but you can see that there is a clear difference between some of the junior athletes and the more accomplished senior athletes in terms of the difficulty of the skills that they're attempting. There's a half and half out piked, Rudy out piked, double back tucked, straight Barani, double back piked, close to the end there, half out piked. You can see Jai moving every bit with her there, and a double back straight to finish.
Nice work. And how many athletes in the team?
There are 4 in each team, and so at least one of the 4 needs to be a junior athlete, and the other 3 can be seniors, but some teams will choose to put in a second junior, depending on what the depth they have in each particular apparatus. And we've got a double back tucked, Rudy out tucked, double back piked, straight Barani, straight back, half out tucked, half in, half out tucked, half out piked, and a double back straight. That's Amber French from Tasmania, finishing off a great routine.
Beautiful form in that routine. Just really hit her opens perfectly as well.
Yeah, Amber, I would say, is known for holding those lines out of her skills as well as anyone else in the Australian women's comp at the moment. And she'll score well for that. And there's a pike Rudy out start, pike double back, piked half out, back salt straight near the end, Barani straight, back salt tucked, she's rescued it. Barani tucked, double back tucked, half out tucked, and a double twisting double back to finish, full in, full out.
Flirting with the edge there as well.
Yep, getting very close to those end decks, but managing to pull it back. We've got some deductions there for the horizontal displacement and the time spent both out of the middle box of the trampoline and then travelling from one end of the tramp to the other.
Up her height here.
And again, a full in, half out pike start, half in, half out pike, Rudy out pike, half in, half out tucked, Rudy out tucked, just losing a bit of form there, double back piked, and then onto the end deck. It's an unfortunate finish, but still a safe one. It's always nice to see that we get off the other end of this without any injuries.
And as a physio, you know all about that.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I spent a bit of time travelling with our national squad and looking after those sort of senior elite athletes. All right, we're going live. There's a pike drift. This is double back tucked, pike Rudy out, half in, half out tucked, half out piked, double back piked, half out tucked, and a full in, full out straight to finish. That's Karina Haggerty there.
And now we're going back to the replay here.
We're going back to a replay. We're back on men's tramp in the team final now. That's Luca McLeod on a pike Rudy out drift.
Missing that one there. I don't know if we cut to a warm-up or if that was his actual routine. I hope that was a warm-up for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one that was in the live order, but this is...
Looks like the judges are pretty chilled out there. Oh no, they're looking.
Yeah, I think this is competition.
Height is amazing.
It's a pike Rudy out start, half and half out tucked, tuck Rudy out with a bit of travel, holding on to it, straight back, tuck Barani, double back piked, half out piked, double back tucked, half out tucked, and a full in, full out tucked to finish. It looks like we're cutting to a bit of tumbling here. This looks...
Saves that one well.
Looks like that might still be a warm-up. And there's some women's double mini from before. That is a Beck from Queensland with a full in, full out dismount. Full twist back, whip, 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 flip, and a double back tuck to finish on the tumbling floor.
There we go.
Okay.
That's the end of our replays. And we're going to be moving on to some more tramp action. Just quick fire.
Yep, that was quick fire.
Right there.
Looks like we are getting back to live again. And it's men's tumbling.
Unfortunately, he landed short, just missed his feet in the takeoff there.
Yeah, he's just gone a bit long on the track there, so he was taking off a part of the sprung floor that was not sprung. He was onto the end mat already. And it looks like we're going to the women's double mini now. And a pike half out mount and a full in, full out dismount. That's a great looking pass there from
Cracking
the Kiwi Bron. Very happy with that one. Former world champion in double mini from New Zealand.
Former world champion. Lucky to have the champions here as well as we go to the big tramp here.
Going on women's trampoline in the all-around final. It's a straight briny start. Straight back. Pike ready out. Pike back. Pike half out. Tuck double back. Tuck half out. Double back pike. Tuck briny. And a double back straight to finish. That was some great form there. Again, another one of the visiting Kiwis to the national championships.
How good was that routine? And you spoke about the form. You could just see her toe point, leg straight the entire time. As we come here live.
And
tumbling.
There's a triple back finish there for Ethan McGuinness. Another former world champion on the tumbling track. Also heading to China shortly for the World Games to represent the country in tumbling. It's in a couple of weeks' time.
And he's one of our superstars here, as you mentioned, world champion tumbler.
Yeah, world champion in Bulgaria 2022.
Looks like she saved that one. Just didn't make it far enough onto the double mini there, but managed to save it.
Managed to save it. That was one that she's pulled out from nowhere. Not quite enough height on that first mount, but managed to finish the pass. And we're back to women's trampoline now. And this is again former Olympian Jess Pickering. Starting again, back salt pike, back salt tuck, full in half out piked, half in half out tucked, Rudy out piked, double back tucked, half out piked, double back piked, half out tucked, you've got to push and squeezes in the full to finish. It's a good fight there from Jess to get that round at the end. You can see she's starting with a couple of simpler skills as she builds her way back in. Her normal routine would start with a pike triff. We're back onto the tumbling track with Tasmania.
Double pike there.
And a full in pike out finish.
A couple of big steps at the end. The judges won't miss those.
No, and Tristan's had a really good competition as well. He's already taken out a national title. Competes, one of the few athletes that competes in all three of these disciplines, in tumbling, double mini and individual trampoline. There's not many around that are doing that anymore. There's a pike half out mount and a straight full out dismount from
spots the floor early and gets So feet planted nicely. You did mention not many athletes doing all three apparatus. They are so wildly different between the tramp, the tumbling, and the double mini. So
that's it.
It's a hell of an athlete to do them all.
That's it. And there is a little bit of crossover between the tramp and double mini, and certainly, again, back in the day, it was more common, but not so much nowadays. We've got Amber French up on tramp now. It's a double back pike. Brani straight back. Half out tucked. Half in, half out tucked. Half out piped. And a full in, full out straight to finish.
Just shot that one a little bit deep there. Flirting with the edge, but...
But again, a completed routine.
All right, looks like the live action for the tramp is finished here, and we're going to be jumping over to the rhythmic floor as the club's competition gets underway. And we have Alicia Tan on the rhythmic floor.
So Alicia made history for Australia, like we mentioned earlier, representing Australia at the Junior World Championships in Sofia, Bulgaria last month, where she qualified for 2 apparatus finals. This routine that she's showing here now, clubs, she actually qualified in first position for the apparatus finals, which is an incredible result for Australia. And like I said, history was made. It was the second Junior World Championships that Alicia has attended and exceeded all expectations. It's beautiful to see Alicia's performance here tonight.
Absolute superstar. As we head over to the acro, which is continuing here this evening.
Moving into our 13 to 19, so the next age group up, we're back still on our combined routines, which are all of tonight. We've got 6 trios in the 13 to 19 division, with 5 being from New South Wales and 1 from Victoria. So the difference between these 2 age groups that you've seen so far with 12 to 18 and now moving into 13 to 19 is obviously the age group and the difficulty in skills. As we move up towards senior, the difficulty is getting higher and higher, which you see throughout the night tonight. Beautiful transition there with the girls moving into arch.
So much balance and strength needed there.
Nice change of music here with the crowd getting into it. Very iconic song. Another double back tuck from platform with a beautiful landing. Another dynamic element from the platform. Straight jump recatch, which I might assume will be turning into assault in the near future with a lay full dismount to floor. Being so, it is still early in the season for us, as our World Championships is until September next year. So a lot of groups potentially have changed and will be working on their skill difficulty throughout the year.
So challenging as an athlete to work with skill development as well as trying to put routines together. So
you've got to have the full package.
That's right, and we continue on clubs here.
Now we have Athena with her club's routine. We do have our friends from across the pond from New Zealand attending this national championships with us. So Athena has qualified for 2 apparatus finals, clubs and ribbon. And with the New Zealand entry in this finals, we will have a 9th Australian join. Performing 3 butterfly leaps there. Clubs is one of the more challenging apparatus because there's 2 of them. So there's 2 pieces to look out for in the air. You'll see the athletes manipulating both pieces really strongly. Just a small drop there. Well done, Athena.
And these clubs aren't soft.
No, they're not.
This catch will lose. We'll move back over to the acro floor. We have Tori Singleton helping me out with the acro tonight, and Danielle Prince with the rhythmic. Tori, take us through what we're seeing here.
We've got trio from New South Wales with their combined routine. A nice, strong, intense combined routine. Beautiful leotards to match. Moving first into a balance element. So with combined, as I mentioned, it's a mixture of dynamic and balance skills placed throughout the routine, entirely made up by the athletes and the coach. So we had there a TP with a press to handstand. Each balance element must hold for 3 seconds, making sure the technique is there, and the same in the dynamic elements, focusing on the execution and the flow in between the routines, the dance, the skills. Dynamic element, double front to basket into a heli series. For these junior groups, this is probably first bigger comp of the season. They would have had 2 state trials, state championships, and moving into nationals this weekend in the Gold Coast. Second balance element, beautiful pancake there from the top, beautiful extension. But these comps were all just aiming to really hit these routines, come out with clean choreography, clean skills, and try and get those scores to start help qualifying for the World Championships next year.
That transition looked cool.
That was very clean. It's exactly what we want, where it's very seamless moving into dance, into skill.
Double bite there.
Nice routine from the girls.
And then we'll take it back to the rhythmic floor with Camille Neighbour from Queensland.
Great switch stag leap from Camille. So the judges are looking to see 8 body difficulties in each routine. So that consists of a balance, a leap, pivots. You must show a minimum of 1 of each, and then the others are all optional. It's important for the athletes to be holding the clubs at the end of the clubs, so you don't want to see too many movements with the hands in the middle of the clubs.
Let's see.
Makes it quite difficult when you're trying to throw and flick and catch and prepare for the next element. And that's one of the things that this code of points is really concentrating on. They don't want to see that excessive preparation movement. They want every movement to be seamlessly integrated into the choreography and the story. Every movement has a purpose. Great save from Camille there. Well performed, well done. She looks happy with that routine.
And so she should be, Camille from Queensland. As we jump across to the acro floor from New South Wales, Letitia, Sienna and Charlie.
These girls were actually just over in Germany with us, performing beautiful routines, qualifying 4th into finals, and finishing the competition with a bronze medal in Germany, which was just insane. The division over there against the girls was phenomenal, so to hold their own and really set a name for Australia was absolutely amazing to come home with a bronze medal from Oak Flats in Sydney. Beautiful skill there. Nice press from the top, moving into pancake. And base transitioning up to a candlestick. Absolutely phenomenal strength there from the girls. Emotional routine from the girls. You can see it, their performance through their faces, through their bodies, really bringing the story together. Very unique element there. Swing, layout, full twist into a full twisting full heli and a half heli double twist with a double tuck element off there.
Beautiful connections.
Very nice. These girls were definitely a standout. Over in Germany, they really held their own. And Australia was really able to put their name on the map. Over in Germany and Poland just last month.
It's so difficult. The skills that they're performing out there. Gymnastics is the art of making hard things look as simple as possible. Circus is the art of making simple things look as hard as possible. The girls have pieced together a fantastic routine there, and they are happy with that, as they should be. Bronze medalist recently over in Europe.
And now we have Veronica from Queensland. Veronica has had multiple international assignments this year, including Sofia World Cup, where she performed really strongly. Let's see what she can do with the clubs. Great wrist throw there. 3 rotations underneath the apparatus. can see that dynamic change there with the music. We mentioned earlier, really want to see a moment of pause or contrast to the music and the gymnast's actions. Beautiful control of the apparatus. Well done, Veronica. Very strong routine.
Veronica from Queensland there, and we have Eliza, Stella and Tara from New South Wales taking to the acro floor shortly.
Green flag is up. Here come the girls. Stunning leotard.
I mean, they're so sparkly. The judges got to wear glasses. Sun needs to be able
Hopefully
to...
it takes away from any minor errors that might happen. As you've seen throughout the night, each routine comes on with a new piece of music, a new story to tell.
And the leotard to match with the story as well.
Yeah, really brings it all together.
Incredible strength there.
Nice and strong. Nice and steady hold there as well. Into the arch from the top.
Base working overtime there.
Beautiful double pike dismount from the girls. Moving straight into that second dynamic element. Double pitch, double tuck. Strong landing, nice tight shapes. Another unique dynamic element there with a pair pitch supported by the middle with a back layout full twist to floor. Coming across the front there, making sure they're really interacting with the judges, connecting with each other, really adding up all those artistry points. Really defying gravity here in what we call a surfboard with a straddle moving into pancake from the top. Very nice, clean routine from the girls. Big smiles.
Next on Rhythmic floor, representing New South Wales, please welcome Carolina.
Jumping over to the rhythmic floor, we have Carolina Krinko from New South Wales and her clubs routine.
It's a really fun routine for Carolina. Music that really allows her to express herself. Carolina was selected to represent Australia at the upcoming World Challenge Cup in Romania in a couple of weeks. So we wish her the best of luck for that competition. Another triple roll there. the athletes are only permitted to do 4 large risk throws. They can do more, but they won't be counted towards their difficulty score. So you'll see the athletes try to maximize each one of those risk throws to get as many rotations and as many additional bonus criteria as they can on each of those risks.
Just finishing that routine slightly late after the music.
Yes. So for every second, it's 0.05 deduction after the music. So you want to be keeping as close to that 1 minute 30 as possible.
That's right, and we move on to the Acro with some ABBA music here.
I love a bit of ABBA music. Got these girls are from the only group from Victoria competing in this division tonight. These girls recently were over in Vegas at the Vegas Acro Cup, where they performed 3 beautiful routines, finishing them 6th in a very strong division. So again, just Australia working their way up through the ranks on the top of the world and really getting their name out there. These girls work really strong together and look really beautiful on the floor, with gorgeous leotards to match the energy.
Transitioning music there.
Bit of a remix.
Shania Twain.
Very, very high energy, fun routines for the girls, just making sure they keep their energy throughout. It's one of the biggest things in artistry, keeping faces to match the routine throughout the entire routine. A few wobbles there with their back pike recatch, but a great save from the bases and a clean back tuck to follow that up with a double pike dismount. Slight little wobble in their artistry there, but finishing it off and picking it right back up. Those little mistakes happen, and they happen very often, so it's just about how you get back up and finish the routine with confidence and not letting it derail you for the rest of the routine. Just getting back up there and doing your job. The girls are down there. They're back up to repeat the skill. So a bit of an error there, coming down in that skill for the second time. This is where you've got to find your place in the music. And it's hard because you're not to talk on the floor, so you've got to try and communicate and pick yourself back up, as there are 3 of you on the floor.
And you can see the disappointment in the face there. They did have a couple of errors there throughout that routine. Fortunately coming off. So a bit of pause in action here as the tramp athletes march onto the competition floor. And we've got Danielle Prince here with me. Danielle, you mentioned the World Championships this year. Do the athletes qualify themselves for the individual apparatus, or is it all round? What kind of World Championships they had this year?
So this year it's for the individual apparatus, and we will also have a group attending as well. So it's a very exciting time with gymnastics in Australia, having both individuals and group able to qualify for World Championships and hopefully Olympics as well.
And that's right. Speaking of the Olympics, we did have a team at the Olympics last year. How did the girls go over there?
They did excellent. They had a record high finish. I believe they finished in 11th, which is an absolute cracker of a result for Australia in group.
That's right, and that was in the group. Do we have any individuals?
Yes, we did. We had Alexander Kroy Bogatareva, who represented us in the individual. Also, represented us very well in Paris.
Fantastic, and not too many athletes get to go to the Olympics. I think there's only 4,500 Australians ever that have represented Australia, you being one of them. And what an experience in Rio in 2016. 24th all round. Were you happy with that result?
I was happy to be there.
Happy to be.
I was very happy with my performances. I think it's every gymnast, a lot of gymnasts' dream to get to the Olympics. So for me, just being there was, the icing on the cake, really. I had 4 really strong routines and, couldn't ask for anything more than that.
Fantastic. And now in your professional life, you're working to put together the 2032 Olympic Games as well as part of the team organising that. So that must be great to transition from an athlete going to the Olympics and now working, putting the next Olympics together and helping part of the organising committee there, which is great to see that you're still involved in the sport and in the Olympic movement all together.
That's right. I think what you can see from the Olympic movement is, it also has the elite side of sport, but what it also has is, sport has the power to change lives, and I think that's what we can really see working in the Olympic movement, the impact that it has on communities and athletes all around the world. Really positive movement to be part of. I'm very grateful to be there.
Fantastic, and that was the intros for the next trampoline rotation, but we're going to continue here on the Rhythmic floor with Sophia from Queensland in the Senior International Division. I believe we are, but...
I've spoken a lot about execution tonight, so it might be a good opportunity to explain what that entails. For rhythmic gymnastics, execution starts with 10 marks and the judges work down from there. So we're really looking to see that technical precision, amplitude, all correct apparatus technique, and any of those small deviations or small losses that you'll see, that's all being taken down off that execution mark. This is Sophia's first year as a senior international athlete. So to make a final is a great achievement for her. There's a small loss at the end there, but just saving it.
Like I said, stepping up into the international senior division for the first time. Well done to Sophia.
Onto the acro floor here with our final 13 to 19 trio. Six trios in this division. Nice difficult balance element here. Done very beautifully.
So solid.
Very solid, beautiful shapes. Very well done there, girls. These girls potentially getting a height deduction, not confirmed, but in acro we do get height penalties, so depending on where the top sits on the bases, you can either get a 0.5 deduction or a full marks deduction, which obviously is extremely high. little slip there of the leg.
That element scares me.
It was very nice though.
It's very nice. The tops are death-defying. Can't be scared of height being the top.
No, the tops are incredible. I was a top for a very short period of time.
And now you are?
I'm a base. That's where I like to be, on the floor.
Close to the ground.
Close to the ground. Yeah, these tops and the skills they come out and perform are absolutely amazing. Just to have the body awareness, spatial awareness, to perform such big skills so high from the ground, moving into their balance element. Very clean so far from these girls from New South Wales, looking very strong in all skills and artistry, which is what the judges are after. Very nice routine. Well done, ladies.
Fantastic. And we're moving on to the rhythmic floor here with Miyabi from Victoria and her club's routine.
Clubs was her highest difficulty at 8.4 from qualifying. So let's see what she can do. Just missing that first turning split arch lead. Looks like she might have slipped a little bit. But she's recovered well. Beautiful ponche pivot. Another one of the changes that this code of points has seen is trying to encourage the athletes to do a wider variety of body skills. So they'll often not allow them to do, two ponche shapes, which they have previously done. Really encouraging more variety for the audience and the judges. Just a few small losses for Miyabi with this apparatus. Good save at the end. Should be a little bit disappointed with that one.
Unfortunately, dropped the club a few times throughout that routine. And with the watchful judges, they won't miss a thing. So, unfortunate for Miyabi there in the club's final.
It's hard. Once you've had that one drop, to recover can be really hard mentally. Hopefully she can take a moment now between her clubs and ribbon final to have a breath, restart, and hit it with ribbon.
That's right. And it looks like we'll be continuing here on the aerobics floor. Tori, you said you're a base?
Yes.
Strength.
Strength, weights.
You got to hold two humans up above you.
Yeah.
That's impressive strength. What sort of training goes into being ready for that?
Definitely a lot of strength weights training in the gym. I feel like in my 6 years off, I really focused on my strength training and just building my strength outside of acro. So coming back, they naturally just worked really well hand in hand.
That's right. So you were a top when you were younger, and then you worked your way down.
Yeah, well, I was a top until I was about 10, and unfortunately had an injury at the 2011 or 2010 state championships. Unfortunately, broke my shoulder at a very young age. So in that time off of recovery, I grew quite a bit and ended up going into a trio as a base, which I found out was my role. Definitely where I like to be.
There you go. And we've just got the double mini there. And finishing the double dismount there. Unfortunately, a little bit off to the side. And Tori will be jumping off, and we have Steve joining us back here to take us through the tramp, tumbling, and double mini action. On to the tramp here.
And into a different competition again. This is now the Trans-Tasman Challenge. So this is Australia versus New Zealand. It's a traditional competition, and we've got women's tramp, starting with a pike half out, tuck double back, tuck half out, pike double back, tuck Barani, full twist back, Rudy, straight back, straight Barani, half and half out tucks. And that was Nicola Ruppel competing for Australia in this competition. Of the 6 athletes from Australia and 6 athletes from New Zealand, there's requirement to have 2 junior athletes, and Nicola was one of those for Australia. And at the same time as the women's tramps running, we have the men's double mini competition.
Yes, our one and only 13 to 19 mixed pair here at Nationals. These two I also had the pleasure of travelling with to Germany and Poland. They secured 2 bronze medals in both international competitions.
Fantastic outcome there.
Insane, and made Australia and their club, Acro Gym in Sydney, very, very proud. 3 beautiful routines at each competition. Just very solid, as you can see here. Very confident in what they do. It's both looking beautiful on the floor, together with great performance. This is one of their softer, more emotional routines, and they both do it just so well. Floor pitch, lay full, beautiful shapes there from Adela. Crowd getting into the music here. Very nice. Double tuck there, strong landings, nice tuck from Adela, and beautiful basing shapes from Malcolm. Insane strength there, one arm straddle. Balanced on one arm as he pushes up into a bunk there. Another beautiful routine from these two. Very happy, very happy.
And so they should be. And here we are on the rhythmic floor, continuing with the clubs competition.
Great adjustment there from Brianna. Great use of the change of music there. Unfortunate loss. 3 chenets under that wrist throw, trapping without hands, all adding to her difficulty score. Beautiful control there from her poncho pivot. Leaps are a series of leaps is one of the only body difficulties that we are allowing in this code of points to have multiple of the same. See Brianna performing 2 split arches there. Unfortunate loss at the end.
That'll cost her in her club's routine. Continue here on the acro floor.
One and only 13 to 19 women's pairs. As you can see, women's pairs, mixed pairs, they are quite a lot less than the trios. The trios tend to be quite a bigger division. So the girls here will walk away as national champions. But at the end of the day, hopefully they're just walking away with 3 routines that they're proud of and ready to get back into the gym, keep working for the rest of the season.
You speak about 3 routines.
Yep.
Which ones do they compete? In what order? And how is that determined?
Generally in Australia, we'll do balance and dynamic. Balance first, dynamic second, and combined is always third. However, overseas it can vary, so depending on the competition and how they split it up. So, for example, over in Germany and Poland, most of the trios started with dynamic and the pairs started with balance. But you don't generally find out until the running order comes out, generally the week of the competition. Personally, I love to start with dynamic first. I feel like it gets the nerves out the way, because obviously balance, you've got to hold those elements, and one little wobble can throw things right off. So I prefer to just get dynamic done, get the nerves out, and for us a dynamic routine is quite fun. That's definitely my preference. But yeah, you don't generally know until you get over there. But in Australia, balance is always first. And here at Nationals, we do balance and dynamic on one day for the internationals, and combined on the next day, which is what we're watching here for the final night of acro.
Fantastic stuff.
We're seeing single leg mount there. Ultimate balance being led by the base, and hopefully at the top is doing her job and letting the base do hers. A nice routine from the girls. Plenty of smiles there.
So they're the only mixed pair that we have here at the competition in the women's event.
We have Paulina from Queensland. This is her 3rd apparatus final tonight after a big 2 days of competition already. Paulina's had a very busy start to the year with multiple international assignments, including the Continental Championships, where she was part of the gold medal winning team there in Singapore. Beautiful turning split arches, 4 there. Should be taking her difficulty up to 2.4 for just those series of leaps alone. Paulina is a first-year senior, and it's very hard. It's very hard to believe that she's only first year, showing such maturity on the mat. She was the youngest athlete at the Continental Championships, performing really strongly. Very strong routine from Polina. Well done.
Amazing stuff there. And heading over to the World Championships later this year to represent Australia in that senior division. First time in the senior event here at the National Championships. And it's great to see her taking to the international stage later this year.
Moving into the senior division for acros, we're on senior women's pair. We've got 4 in this division. 2 of the pairs just recently getting back from Germany and Poland as well. All of our women's pairs being here from Sydney. Bucket to handstand, slight wobble there, great save. Slide to split. So senior in acrobatics being the age division of 15 and above, so you must be turning 15 the year of Worlds. Nice dynamic element there. Double twist, dismount. Very nice creative entry into the skill here. Needle into a mount. Beautiful help from the girls. Very strong through their artistry here. Very in time. Strong routine from the girls.
Very nice stuff there from our senior internationals women's pair. We are moving into the senior international division of the acro competition this evening. But we do continue here on the mat with the club's apparatus final.
We have Rhiannon, the last competitor of this club's final. As I mentioned, because we did have a New Zealand competitor make it into this final, we were able to get another position. So great opportunity for Rhiannon to show her stuff. So the athletes will get additional difficulty for throwing both clubs up in the air during a wrist throw versus just the one. Nice change of music and pace here. It's important for the athletes to show a variety across all 4 routines. So you might have one more serious piece of music, a happier, faster, and then a slower piece of music, all showing how you can execute against all the different pieces. Strong routine from Rhiannon.
Very nice there from Rhiannon. That concludes our club's apparatus final for this evening from the young Queenslander. As we we look to continue this competition here on the beautiful Gold Coast. Over 2,000 athletes have travelled up to the Gold Coast over the last 14 days across all gym sports, competing here at the Australian Gymnastics Championships.
And please welcome Remy from Western Australia with her Junior World Championship ribbon routine.
And we have a display from Remy from Western Australia. She's competing her ribbon routine, and this begins the ribbon event for this evening.
So Remy also attended the 2025 Junior World Championships over in Sofia, Bulgaria. So she'll be performing her ribbon routine tonight as a display. Remy showing great character through this routine, matching the music. Well executed wrist throw, 3 rotations. As we mentioned, anytime you see the athlete throwing the apparatus with their foot or in an element of rotation or without the help of their hands, these are all adding difficulty. Great routine from Remy. Well done.
Fantastic having her here on the competition floor for that beautiful ribbon display.
And on the rhythmic floor, starting the last of our apparatus finals with the ribbon routine, representing New Zealand.
Like I mentioned, it's been a big 3 days for all of the athletes here. So on that 3rd day, this is when it really starts to count. The energy will be a little bit low coming into this last apparatus, so got to keep the focus going.
And it's a long night of competition with some of the athletes doing multiple apparatus in one night, a lot of waiting in between.
That's right. You have to make sure that you pace yourself. A lot of the athletes will be lying down at the back, taking a moment.
Composing themselves, and it's difficult. You have to warm yourself up, get in peak physical condition, do your routine, cool back down. You might be 40 minutes between each apparatus that you compete, so some of the best athletes here tonight are being kept very busy. But they are all professionals. They've been doing this for many, many years. And I'm sure they love competing here in front of the crowd. As we move over to Athena Lee from New Zealand in the Senior International Ribbons Division.
Ribbon is one of the most challenging apparatus in rhythmic gymnastics. The ribbon is 6 meters long, so it can be quite hard to manipulate.
You just mentioned it there, and unfortunately getting caught in the actual ribbon itself.
So there's a lot of execution associated with the ribbon routine, and typically we will see it as a lower scoring apparatus overall, and that's purely based on the execution. You want to see the ribbon moving freely, not touching the body or sitting statically on the floor. strong wrist throw to finish.
Next on the Rhythmic floor, representing New South Wales. Please welcome Gymnastics and
Our second senior women's pair here, Ella and Sanaya. Straight into a balance element. Press to handstand on feet. Down into pancake. Showing the strength and flexibility there. With the base pushing up. Good control. Another beautiful, very sparkly leotard on the floor. Beautiful dismount there. Very clean, tight shuttle there. Very emotional song. Girls telling the story with their bodies and their faces. Clean, playful twist. Dismount. Clean routine so far from the girls. Beautiful balance there. Very nice, clean routine from the girls. I think they'll be very happy with that.
And so they should be. Fantastic stuff from the young New South Wales girls there. As we continue on the rhythmic mat, Brianna from Western Australia with her ribbon routine, and none other than Danielle Prince, rhythmic superstar, taking us through the action here.
3 beautiful turning split ring leaps. Again, packing in that difficulty right off the bat. Just a small deviation there. And while the ribbon went out, Brianna didn't step over that line, so she's reduced her execution there. As I mentioned, ribbon is one of the harder apparatus to control, particularly in a large stadium like this, with fans going and air conditioning. All of those factors affect the ribbon in the air and how it flies, so you have to be ready for anything. You just see she's struggling a little bit with the ribbon there. Unfortunately, when we have errors, it's not only affecting our execution, but also our artistry. So as we've mentioned, the story, the judges want to see the story continue throughout the whole routine, and when we're having these small errors, fortunately, that is taking away from that artistry score as well.
And a bit of a wave to the crowd here from Brianna. around the acro floor.
On the acro floor now, we've got Petra and Elise from New South Wales. Another pair that travelled with us to Germany and Poland, making finals at both competitions, performing beautiful routines. So it's a quick turnaround to come home from Poland and get ready for nationals. The girls looking to earn their spot on the 2026 national squad next year. I know Petra has transitioned from a very beautiful top, into a beautiful base.
You can see that toe point there.
It's quite beautiful, isn't it?
Petra. It does stand out.
A little bit of wobble there, but strong hold from the girls. Crowd really getting into their routine as it starts to pick up. Petra, actually a former rhythmic gymnast a few years ago. Beautiful double twist there. Floor pitch full, looking nice and clean from the girls. Beautiful routine. I know they'll be happy with that to finish their time at the National Championships.
And they are absolutely ecstatic, which is great to see here. Petra, former rhythmic gymnast, moving away to acrobatics, which is fantastic. And we continue the action here with Steve joining us on the tramp.
So we're now up to the men's individual trampoline Trans-Tasman series, which is the Australia versus New Zealand competition. We've just had the first Kiwi athlete complete his routine, and now we have our first Australian competitor, which is James from Victoria. As before, there are, of the 6 athletes that are competing, there are 2 that are required to be junior athletes, the other 4 seniors.
Just waiting on the judges there to deliberate the previous routine score before they give him, young James, a green flag to start his routine. This must be nerve-wracking.
Yeah, this is the moment where you'd wish they'd hurry up and put the scores up so they can get started.
He could wait off the tram.
He could, yep, yeah, he could get off until the superior judge puts his hand up, and his time to start the routine hasn't started yet. He's got a minute before he gets a penalty once that superior judge signals him to start.
There you go, and they are taking a bit of time here. And we spoke about the nerves earlier, and nerves do creep up in competition, and little things like this can really unsettle you, but the green flag has gone up.
Starting with a pike triple front, half and half out pike, tuck triples, half and half out tucked, full and half out pike, double back tucked, full in half out pike, double back tucked, half out pike, and a double back straight. Finish there. I'm not sure that is everything that he was hoping to do.
Just losing a bit of momentum there.
Yeah, but he's got through his 10 skills, and that means we'll get a score on the board. The overall competition here, Australia versus New Zealand in the Trans-Tasman, will rely on the 3 best scores. So it's not on points as it was for the other team finals that we've had. This is raw scores, and the top 3 scores count. And we've just seen that New Zealand won the women's tramp by a very slim margin, and that Australia has won the men's double mini.
We do have a replay here. New Zealand athlete.
Starting with a pike trivis, half and half out pikes, tuck trivis, back salt tucked, straight line, half and half out tucked, Rudy out pike, double back tucked, half out piked, and a finish with a triple back piked.
Just overcooking that one. Unfortunately, his last pike.
And we're back onto the next New Zealand athlete now. Getting into a bit of trouble near the end deck there. And the other end deck. And finishes with a double back strike.
Jeez, he took that routine from one end to the other, didn't he?
Yep. Yeah, we're leaving a fair few deductions there for the judges for travelling outside the area, and that horizontal displacement deduction.
Just a team competition tonight with the Trans-Tasman, Australia versus New Zealand. Top 3 scores count for each team. What's the team score?
And looks like next athlete from Australia up on the men's trampoline is Sam Durkin.
Once again having to wait for the judges there, but they have raised the green flag as he builds his height before he starts his routine. 6 metres up.
Yeah, well, Sam's one of those good young athletes that gets a lot of power, and his height is getting right up there. Starting again with a pike triff. Half and half out tucked. Second tuck trip, half in Rudy out piked, half out tucked, double back tucked, full in half out piked, half and half out piked, half out piked, and a Miller straight to finish. That's that triple twisting double back, and he's pulled it back to finish well.
Strong difficulty in that routine, you can see.
Yeah, certainly.
Double A triple.
Yep, that'll be the most difficult routine we've seen so far in the Trans-Tasman Men's Challenge.
Form was it's always a trade-off between difficulty and execution, and unfortunately his form wasn't as clean as some of the other athletes.
Yep, just lost some legs in there and struggled to get back to the middle at one point. But again, good to get that score on the board with the difficulty that he has. And should end up in the top end here.
Fantastic, and gymnastics is one of those sports where you're always juggling with difficulty and execution, and unfortunately can't go the easy route every single time and focus on execution only. So you have to go use competitions like this to really try your hardest skills, and before you can take it to the international circuit and hopefully clean it up in the meantime. It's great to see the New Zealand athletes over here across the pond in this Trans-Tasman competition. Steve, you work with plenty of these athletes on a daily basis, making sure they stay healthy. We'll let you go through this routine first.
Yeah, next carry up now for men's trampoline. Starting again with a pike triff. Half and half out tucked and onto the end deck. That's where Roman's routine will finish.
And unlike artistic gymnastics, you can't just finish your routine if you fall off. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Stop, you're done and dusted.
If you haven't started the routine yet, then you can start again, but there's not too many that end up on the index in just their straight bounces. But once the routine's started, it is a one chance only. And so we're moving straight along here. And we've got Tristan Stiles from Tasmania up next, representing Australia. Again, a pike drift start and a double back that's going off the end as well. Unfortunately, just over-rotated that pike drift a little bit, ended up on his heels and didn't hold his line strong enough to take his double back up again. And ending up on the end deck.
Once you've overcooked one skill, you can't pull it back from there.
It's pretty hard to come back.
Take you in whichever direction it wants.
That's it.
But there is only 3 scores counting, 6 athletes up, so we won't be counting those 2 last routines to the scores for the team event. Let's hope we have a bit more success here.
Next athlete from New Zealand is Jake Mackin. He's just preparing for the start of his commentary routine. A tuck drift star, double back tucked, Rudy out piked, double back piked, Rudy out tucked, back side tucked, half out piked, half in half out tucked, half out tucked, and a full out straight to finish. And this is where one of the more junior athletes has been able to put some points on the board and help New Zealand along the way there to at least getting some scores that may end up proving crucial if we don't get some more scores on the board from the Australian boys.
That's right, we saw a few short routines there, and those scores probably won't be counted towards the routines. And so some of these junior athletes, if their scores count, it's a big way to step up here. International competition.
It's from New South Wales now. Next up on trampoline from Australia, Nicholas Diaz-Ballas. At his first international senior comps earlier this year, travelled to a World Cup in Italy, where he actually finalled on the double mini trampoline in his first senior international, which is quite an achievement.
Certainly is.
Again, a good, powerful jumper. He's getting a lot of height there to start. Starting with a straight back and triple back tuck, light triff, half and half out tuck triff, and that's also hit the end deck. He's pulled his routine back a little bit in an attempt to get through this. He usually has a pike Rudy out triff start there, but it hasn't worked for Nick on this occasion. Just a little bit too much travel, a little bit too early in that routine, and as you said before, once you start moving it around, it's really difficult to pull it back, and particularly the younger and less experienced athletes really do find that difficult once they're in trouble to be able to save those routines.
Totally understandable, and you saw the coach throw the mat in there. It's important that they are there to keep the athletes safe. It does go off course slightly.
And the next New Zealand athlete now preparing to start is Lockie Kirk on the trampoline from New Zealand. Starting with a pike triff. Half and half out piked. Tuck triff. Double back tucked. Full and half out piked. Half and half out tucked. Half out tucked. A nice line there. Double back piked. Half out piked. And a Miller squeezed in at the end there. Again, that triple twisting double back in a just about straight position. That's a good routine from Lockie.
Geez, he went for that at the end, and great way to finish.
Indeed, and it does look like a few more scores on the board for the Kiwis at the moment.
So if you compete 2 skills, you still get a score, but that's
just from those two skills. If you've
That's it. You'll still get a score, but that score will not be, hopefully, one of our top three. We'd have to be going pretty badly if that was the case. But hopefully we get a few more of the Australians getting through their full 10 skills. Up next is Leo Steinbeiser, also from New South Wales, but representing Australia in this Trans-Tasman series. And here he goes, preparing for his routine now. Start. Half and half out tucked. Tuck trip. Double back tucked. Full in half out piked. Half and half out piked. Rudy out piked. Double back piked. Half out piked. And a full in full out finish in the straight position. It's a great routine from Leo, one of the younger guys on that team today. And again, putting the much needed points on the board for the Australian team.
That's a fantastic routine. You spoke about the routine dynamics before and the nerves. I know when I was an artistic gymnast, especially on pommel horse, you could start having a chain reaction if your first athlete has a bit of a mishap and the next athlete sees that. It takes a lot of control from the young athlete you saw just there to pick it back up after a couple of the boys before him had a few wobbles there.
Yeah, that's it. It would have been certainly a build-up of the pressure, knowing that Australia really hadn't put many full routine scores on the board. So yeah, well done to the young fella Leo. He's done well to pull that back and put a full routine of 10 skills on the board for Australia. Next up is the final New Zealand athlete. This is James Dougal. Just preparing to start his routine. He's got a good, strong difficulty routine here. If he does get through it, this should put a bit more pressure back on the Australians. Starting with pike triff. Half and half out tucked. Tuck triff. That looked short right from the get-go. Knowing James, he'll have popped back up with a smile on his face just then, despite the disappointment of not getting through there. That is,
it's good to see him get up from there nice and quick, and he looks like he's all right.
Yep, just going back through the paces. That's his mum, the coach over there, who is just letting you know what went wrong, no doubt.
Yeah. And that's it with gymnastics. It's always never-ending with the learning there. So every mistake, as you say, every routine is an opportunity to learn. And do better next time. But it looks like one of his legs did buckle up underneath him there, and he went off to the side, unfortunately. But we continue with the Australian here.
Our last competitor for the men's trampoline, this is Luca McLeod. Certainly should be the highest difficulty that we see, assuming that he does get through his 10 skills. Starts with a pike back. Half in, half out. Tuck triff. Pike triff. Half in, half out tucked. Tuck triff. 1.5 in, half out piked.
Saves it.
Half out tucked. Half in, half out piked. Full in, half out piked. And he's pulled that back to a full. Full in, half out tucked, and a miller to finish. Jeez, he squeezed that out. That was, I think we all just collectively sighed at the end of that routine.
Yeah, geez, he was left and right all over the shop there, but he did manage to complete that routine.
Yeah, so again a score on the board, and again we saw it with Nick earlier as well. Pulling back on that first skill was going to be a pike Rudy out triff, but he's pulled back on that first skill to make sure the score's on the board, and hopefully that will have got the Australian team at least into contention after those couple of early mishaps. And we'll just wait on those scores, and we should be able to see where we finished up.
And we're over to the Rhythmic floor. Thank you, Steve, for helping us out there. Continuing the ribbon apparatus final here this evening.
Veronica from Queensland. Showing beautiful amplitude in that turning split arch leap. Very high value leap there, 0.6. It's a small drop there. Again, feels like they're fighting a little bit with those elements. The wind. Boomerang through. Just caught the ribbon there and her legs without sight. It was a hard routine for Veronica to get through, but she's all done now.
All done for the evening. So when you say a little mistake when they drop the apparatus, that's a really costly mistake, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Not, like I mentioned earlier, not just in execution, but also in artistry. So any break in that character, unfortunately, the judges can be quite harsh.
It's a difficult job being a judge here. And it is so subjective, and it's one of the most complex part of this sport across all gym sports is the subjectiveness of it all.
And we forget that the athletes have a new code of points this year, but so do the judges. So they've recently, at the beginning of this year, resat all of their exams and studied and spent a lot of time getting up to speed with this new code of points. So it's not just our athletes, it's our judges and our coaches working really hard as well. We have Leona from New South Wales. This is Leona's first year as a senior international, and to make a finals, excellent result for her. This beginning of an Olympic cycle is a really exciting opportunity for some of our younger athletes to really step up and make their mark on the national stage, with hopefully many years of great results to come. Very fun, upbeat piece of music. You can see Leona emphasizing the accents of the music through her hands, her head, her torso. Just finishing on the music there.
And next on the apron floor for New South Wales, please welcome our final routine.
Beautiful stuff there. And we're moving on to our final routine for the evening in the Women's Senior International group from New South Wales. And Tori's here to take us through it.
These girls have just come back to competition after suffering an injury to one of the girls, which is always unfortunate, especially in a team sport where one gets injured. Unfortunately, it means time off for the others. So they've done well to get through their recovery and rehab and get back on the floor here at Nationals. Beautiful high straddle there. Transitioning into TP, into a beautiful press.
Very dramatic music as well.
Very dramatic. Great control there. Beautiful leotards to match the music. for the final routine for acrobatics here at Nationals. Do a nice heli series. Beautiful tight shapes, feet staying together, nice and clean. Moving into their next balance element here. This is where we see ultimate strength and balance.
We spoke about the height in the trampoline, but look how high she's off the ground there.
I think she's just about matched the trampoline.
Yeah.
So far, so good for the girls here. Looking beautiful. Beautiful textbook pike there. Layout, dismount, and a beautiful finish. I'm sure they'll be happy with that, with their first comp back after an injury earlier this year.
Fantastic. And thank you very much, Tori, for being here with us this evening and taking us through all the acro action. That concludes the acro action for this evening's competition with all the international 12 to 18s, international 13 to 19s, and the senior internationals. And we come over to our final rhythmic routine here for the evening. Rihanna from Queensland in her ribbon routine, and Danielle Prince is on the mic to take us through this.
Rihanna had the highest artistry score for ribbon in the qualification, so really watch out for how she articulates this routine with the music. Good save there. You want to see the athletes not staying in one spot on the floor for too long. You really want to see them using the whole space. Music is really picking up, and she's matching that with her fouettes. Well saved. What a great routine to finish on for Rihanna. She should be really proud of herself.
Fantastic, and that concludes the rhythmic gymnastics for this evening. And Danielle Prince, thanks very much for joining us tonight and helping us through all of the action.
Thank you for having us.
Fantastic, and we do have a few more replays here coming through shortly on the tramp, but there is the final replay of the rhythmic here.
So here we have Miyabi with her ribbon routine. Miyabi really has had a standout year this year, taking the all-round gold last night and a number of golds tonight at the individual apparatus finals. Like we mentioned, next month she will be off to Rio for the World Championships. And this is really only the beginning for her. Second year senior. I'm sure she'll be aiming for many great team selections as the years go on, and perhaps the LA 28 Olympics as well.
Finishing strong there from the young Victorian. You mentioned the LA Olympics, plenty of action coming up over the next couple of years. Also these athletes looking to make their way. Quick replay here of the acro action.
One of the senior trios that we just on earlier, there were 5 senior trios here. 4, sorry. Nope, my bad. 3. 3 senior trios here at Nationals. Again, we've got a few out as we've come home from the European tour, and a couple working back from injury as well. So the trios, you can see, are a much bigger division here, not only in Oz but across the world as well. Super strong, high difficulty division. All the girls finishing up with a very good combined routine to be happy with, leaving nationals and getting ready for national clubs in just 2 months back on the Gold Coast. So all international groups now have a few more months to work on some skill upgrades, clean up some choreo, and really try and fine-tune the last few things before national clubs. And then we get quite a big chunk of time to work on all the little things, more skills moving into 2026, which is going to be the year of our World Championships. It's going to be a nice fight for most divisions. I'd say most divisions have more than 6, and only the top 2 will make it through to Worlds. Beautiful balance element here by the girls. Upside down on someone else, balancing someone on your foot. It's pretty spectacular when you think about it.
They make it look easy.
You tend to forget how crazy the sport actually is until you sit back and watch all the beautiful gym sports we have here. A nice clean platform full twist for the girls. And finishing the routine nice and strong.
Fantastic, and that wraps up the replays for this evening, and that wraps up the live stream. I'd like to say a big thank you to Tori Singleton, Danielle Prince and Steve Davey for helping me along with tonight's action, and we will be back in 3 nights' time for more live stream action from the Australian Gymnastics Championships. Thank you for joining us, and good night.